now. And if you are in season, which you most likely are because you play year-round sports and your daughter really never has a day off, think about in your schedule how you can fit in speed. So maybe she can cut back on some skill sessions because that bucket's already full with all the practices and games going on. And maybe she can fit in speed one time a week. Everyone might be saying, well, Erica, like we can't fit it in. Well, I'm sorry. If you want to improve speed, then you have to make time for it. This is a long-term journey. This is not a quick fix. Speed is a very advanced skill, and you have track athletes that dedicate so much of their time to refining that craft. Field athletes need to be doing that as well. Court-based athletes need to be doing that as well if they want to make some serious gains. So the 3 physical components you need to start fitting into the schedule now are your mechanics, and not getting too detailed with them, because with field and court-based athletes, they don't need to be as perfect as track athletes just because we don't have as much time to perfect these mechanics. But some of the big rocks are just working on keeping the arms by the side, keeping the hands relaxed and not too tense, not letting the arms flail and wave everywhere. So those are the big rocks with mechanics I'd focus on. And then also just making sure in those high knee and skipping drills, making sure the ball of the foot is making contact with the ground, the knee is driving up to the hip, just those big rock things. We don't have to get too into the details, because then it just becomes this whole rabbit hole and we overthink our mechanics, and sometimes that can really hold our female athletes back who play team sports. The next component of speed is making sure you're doing jumps and hops. So we really want to train the muscles to become fast twitch. We want to fire the central nervous system, because that is a huge component of speed and getting faster and raising that ceiling. So jumps, like jumping far, jumping high, different broad jump, vertical jump variations, doing your pogo hop. So girls are learning how to spring off the ground with the ball of their foot and be super, super bouncy. So those are just some examples of jumps and hops to work on to really train athletes to be twitchy. And when we're doing jumps and hops and all these plyometric drills, they need to be at least 6 seconds or less, because once we go a little bit longer, then the speed starts to slow down. And that's when we move more into our endurance training, that more slow twitch. So speed drills are always at least 6 seconds or less, because anything beyond that, the athlete's starting to fatigue and slow down. So drills are super short in duration, but high in intensity. Probably one of the biggest mistakes female athletes make when training speed is they don't go max effort on these drills, and they don't recover long enough in between sets. That recovery in between sets is so key, because you want the second set to be as explosive as the first set. You want to make sure you're getting that adaptation from every set you're doing. So quality matters in your jump drills. And then number 3 is doing your sprints. So like I said, we need to get out of that 10 to 20 yard space that's going on at practice, and we want to expand that to 30 yard, 40 yard, 50 yard sprints, and really making sure our athletes can reach that top speed and really fire the central nervous system up. So making sure you're also timing those sprints, because then you don't know if you're improving. It is so critical to time, and I'll link the timing system I use below in the caption. It's the Freelap timing system. Yes, it is a little bit of an investment, but if you're someone who's pumped up about training speed and you want to stick with it for many years to come, maybe your daughter is 14 years old right now and she plans to play all through college soccer, then a Freelap timing system is absolutely 100% worth the investment. I've had mine for about 4 or 5 years with my athletes in Tampa, and they love it. And I've noticed that when we time our athletes, they give that intensity in that sprint. There is no holding back. So that's when we get the most out of them with that fast twitch muscle fiber recruitment. I get asked